We go again. All right, so second time round.
Right.
Sorry about that. So, hello and welcome to another English podcast with Paul. My name is Paul, I'm your host, and today I'm joined with
Roy Hancock.
Roy. Excellent. Okay, Roy. So, what is your career? You said that you had two different careers.
Yeah, so I started since I left school. It was electrical engineering, and I've been doing that since I was 50 years old. I'm of course gone past that now, and that's a thing I've always been interested in.
Okay, okay. All right. And then you said you had a second career. So,
Yes, well, when I was 50, I decided to take a second career, and I work in a school now as a DT technician, which is preparing materials for the students. And it years ago, it used to be called like metalwork and woodwork, but now it's called resistant materials or DT. So that's why I'm a technician, when I get things ready for for the students and the teachers.
okay, I remember DT design in technology and woodwork and metalwork. I really enjoyed metalwork. So, why is it now called resistant technologies?
Well, we do a lot more theory work these days, and it's a lot to do with, as you know, as computers as type of got more advanced, right?
Mm.
A lot of it's in prototypes and designing in DT,
Okay,
right?
okay, yeah.
Design, but as it
Design.
says, it's design and technology.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they've gone towards more less of the practical skills, more of the computer skills and graphics.
So do you use like CAD?
Yes, we do use CAD. Yeah.
And can you tell the audience what CAD means?
Oh, well, it's funny, really. It's I can't think of the actual word at the
Computer
moment.
aided design?
Design. That's, yeah. I'm glad you helped
Okay.
me there. But we use. I mostly I don't get so involved in that. I usually use the program for like 2D design, and that uses laser cutters, because we tend to use a lot of laser cutters for doing
Oh,
things
okay.
like that, and I do the programming for that.
But do the schools still have things like
Yes, they
jigsaws and
do. Yes, they do. And part of their exam, they still got to be able to um, um, know what it is, like what screwdrivers and hammers are. But it's not so much practical these days. It's a lot to do with theory. So, but yes, they are taught what they do and how they work, but they don't actually use them that so much
okay.
these
And
days.
what about hand saws and drills? And,
Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing. They got to do. They don't. They know how to use them, but they don't so much make so much these
oh,
days.
okay, okay. Because when I was young, I think I built a bookshelf or
Yeah,
something like
well,
that. Or
yeah, well, it's got. But that's right. And but it has, like I say, the last say few years, it's kind of dwindled less and less and less, because the practical you get when you type of take an exam,
mm,
in your year 11s, 10, 11s, it's the marks you get is mostly you get more marks through the paperwork than actually the
ah,
practical work. So
okay,
like you
okay.
say, it used to be 50-50 years ago. Okay, but now then it dwindled down about 30, 70. But now the practical work may be only 20%, and 80% are theory and paperwork. So that's why they do less of the practical work, because there's more marks in the paperwork
Hmm.
when you take exam.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame, because back in the day we used to try and mend things.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I always got a bit of fascination with like the Indians in India, because they still make a lot of stuff
Yeah, yeah, very
themselves. Yeah,
resourceful
they are.
people.
They are.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Um, so what's the most challenging aspects
Well, in the challenging aspects, as
of
when I
the
was,
engineering? Yeah, let's
as in
start with the
yeah,
engineering.
in the engineering, electrical engineering, is when I was to be working as a maintenance electrician.
Mm.
I didn't always do a maintenance electrician. I used to be control panels as well, but then I had a job in maintenance. Maintenance. Of course, if you get a breakdown on a machine,
Mm.
and you got about 20 or 30 people all stopped in production line, you get you get the managers and the foremen and everybody, Tom, come to Harry, to on your back. When's it going to get going again? When's it going to go? And I think that's really stressful and challenging.
Oh, okay, okay. But I think I missed out the question. What did you love about it? And you said earlier in the first take that you really liked going into a
Yeah,
building
that's
that
right.
nobody else had been in for many
Yeah.
years.
Well, when I used to do the control panels, we worked a lot of time sewage and water treatment plants. And I used to help, we used to install some of the control panels into a pumping station, which might be only a small building on the side of the road, which hasn't been opened for years. And it's just like you open the door, it'd be cobwebs everywhere, and it's just like, it's quite
Stepping back in
yeah,
time.
going back in time. That's right.
May not have been open for 20 years,
Yeah, that's
30
right.
years.
And, well, maybe not as long as that, but quite long. It's quite interesting.
Okay, okay. So what do you find most challenging about working in a school?
Well, working in a school, as we just we spoke about earlier on, that the format of school life, especially in DT, has changed a hell of a lot in the last few years, right? So where I'm type of very practically minded, and I can see
Yeah.
the benefits of the practical, right? Where they are going further and further away from that.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame. They're not
So I've
being
been made,
skilled.
I feel it's like it's a shame that they're not bringing out people who can type of hang a shelf up, because
Yeah, the
things like that.
physical
They
skills,
know how to on a computer, but
technically,
not
yeah.
actually do it in practice.
So they know the theory of how to hang up a shelf,
Yeah,
but in practice they're
yeah,
not skilled.
no, that's right.
Okay, all right. Right then, the next one. If you were to change career, what would you do now? What would you do? Would you be a handyman or?
I think I would be. I used to. Well, if I changed my career, I think yes. I think I would be a type of a handyman. I go around in my little van, helping people and things like that. I think. I think I might do that.
That appeals to you?
Yeah, I think that does appeal me. Yeah.
Lots of cups of tea. And...
Yeah. Well, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you recommend either of these careers to a young person?
I think being an electrical engineer, I recommend it to anybody young, because it's fascinating, and it's always a pay forward. Working in a school, you've got to have a lot of patience, and it's altered a lot. Well, basically a lot of patience, and it's so really, if you was going to do a career-minded and a young person, go into electrical engineering, because that's where the money is.
Oh, okay. That's where the money is. You heard it here first. All right. If you could go back in time, all the way back to say 14, 15 years, what would you do now? What career? What would you do differently?
That's a good one. That is really, because I really never thought about that. Well, I think everybody thinks about things they could have done in their life, and I don't think you would be human if you didn't. But I think I've had fairly being an electrical engineer. I think I've done fairly well. At the end meets the purpose. So I don't think I would change that much. Not really. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
That's interesting. I think I would probably go abroad earlier and work in another country and earn a lot more money, or maybe try and be a businessman in another country.
But you can't resent, or you can't look back too far back, because it only just makes you unhappy.
Yeah.
So
sure,
it's got water under, as they say, it's water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. Good. All right. What is your current life goals? Are you planning on going on a cruise around the Mediterranean or something?
No. I only got another year before I retire, and so I'm planning to. I don't go not like you, Paul. Like I'm a bit of a home bird personally, but I like my hobbies. And I'm just I'm gonna do I'm doing up an old van, and I like to do a bit more. I like camping and that. So I think I'd be like a bit of free agent until I've travelled a few places.
Okay. Good. All right then. Last one. What advice would you give to one of my students learning English? Just in one sentence, what advice could you give them?
Right. Well, just do your goal. If you want to, if any of you trying to learn English a bit more fluently, just well, you know, it opens a lot of doors. It opens a lot of doors. That's all I can say.
Okay, okay.
right.
Yeah, excellent. Can I ask you to hold that for a moment? Let's have a look
Yes.
at the book. So, what was the month you were born?
I was July
July, okay. July. And what was the date?
1958.
Not the year.
Sorry, the
number.
date, the 7th. Sorry.
The 7th, okay. 7th of July. Let's have a look. What happened? Okay, on the 7th of July, US take over occupation of Iceland in 1941. Okay.
All right.
1930, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of sleuth Sherlock Holmes, and his sidekick Dr. Watson, died at 71 in Edinburgh.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
1985, 7-year-old Boris Becker beat Kevin Curran today to be the youngest ever Wimbledon men's single. 1985. That's
Wow.
interesting. 1990, Martina Navratilova made Wimbledon history today, winning the 9th Wimbledon title. Bit of a theme there, isn't there? Okay.
Yeah.
Great Italian architect dies in 1573.
I do it well.
Yeah, yeah. Queen entertains intruder. Oh, I remember this.
Oh, I remember that.
1982. Early this morning, Queen Elizabeth was awoken by a strange man sitting on her bed in the royal suite of Buckingham Palace.
Yes, I remember that.
Michael Fagan, 30, swigging wine from the royal cellars, chatted amicably with the monarch, who kept remarkably cool throughout what must have been an alarming experience.
Yes.
Wow.
The mystery was, how
Michael
did he
Fagan.
get in there? That's the thing. Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a lot of talk after that with Fathers for Justice.
yes.
Dressing up as
Yes.
Batman and Superman
Yes, that
and
was,
climbing
yeah.
the walls.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
I
What else we
remember.
got? 1307, English King Edward I, conqueror of the Welsh, died. All right. 1815, Napoleon defeated Waterloo. This is not your year, obviously. This is
No.
1815.
Little bit before.
1970, death of Sir Alan Lane, founder of Penguin, and the first publisher to promote paperback.
Oh, Penguin Books. Right.
Penguin Books, yeah.
Yeah.
1988, 11-year-old American boy pilot takes off from San Diego, bound for Le Bourget. I can't pronounce that. Le Bourget in Paris.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other famous birthdays? 18. I don't recognize any of those. Mostly conductors and.
I thought it was Michael Jackson, even Madonna was in July. It was,
Maybe that's probably before this.
Yeah.
Before this book. Right on this day. Right. Well, thank you very much for joining us
That's
today,
all right,
Roy.
Paul. Right.
Much appreciate that.
That's right, mate.
Thank you
Right.
very much, and
All
hopefully
the
we'll
best
see you
to you
next
lot.
time. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye bye
Bye-bye.
for now.